Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. Let me tell you something, folks. Activist Post is highlighting something the 10th Amendment Center is writing about, and this is just awesome. This is how we have to fight back, if you will. It says Michigan's House passes a bill to ban material support or resources for warrantless federal surveillance. This is great. The states are now so pissed off that they're starting to fight back at if there's one silver lining in the cloud of Jeff Sessions, it's that little Keebler elf knows how to piss people off and energize them and unify them in such a manner that just it gets them to act. Thank God. It says today the Michigan House overwhelmingly passed a bill that would ban material support or resources for warrantless federal surveillance programs. This represents an essential step states need to take at a time when the federal government seems unlikely to ever end its own spying. Representative Martin Hawryluk of Troy introduced House Bill 4430 on March 28th. The legislation would prohibit the state and its political subdivisions from assisting, participating with, or providing material support or resources to a federal agency to enable it to collect or to facilitate in the collection or use of a person's electronic data unless one of three conditions apply. A, the person is given informed consent. B, the action is pursuant to a warrant that's based upon probable cause and particularly describes the persons, places, or things to be searched or seized. And C, the action is in accordance with a legally recognized exception to warrant requirements. Now, the vote passed 107 to 1. I'd hate to be that one. It says if the federal government continues, Hawryluk said, its mass warrantless surveillance program, it should get no help carrying them out in the state of Michigan. It says my bill will certify that the state of Michigan will not assist the federal government in any data collection unless it is 100% consistent with the U.S. Constitution. Now, passage in the House was a major first step. Hawryluk added definitions to the bill at the request of several lobbying groups, of course, including law enforcement. And his work with potential opponents of the bill before the committee hearing helped overcome objections and pave the way for the move forward. Now, despite concerns about warrantless surveillance in the wake of the Edward Snowden revelations, Congress has done nothing to rein in NSA spying. And on Thursday, the House voted to reauthorize Section 702 of the FISA Amendment Act after Republicans and Democrats joined together to get 60 votes to end the debate. The Senate is expected to follow suit later this week. And as Andrew Napolitano, one of my heroes, has explained, quote, the FISA-created process permits a secret court in Washington to issue general warrants based on the government's need to gather intelligence about national security from foreigners among us. It pretends that the standard is probable cause of foreign agency, but this is now morphed into the issuance of general warrants whenever the government needs them. A typical FISA warrant authorizes government surveillance on all landlines, all mobile devices, and all desktop computers in a given area. And while the process was created to monitor foreign agents, it sweeps up reams of data belonging to all Americans. And before approving a 6-year extension of 702, the House voted to kill the amendment that would have overhauled the surveillance program and addressed some of the privacy concerns. Provisions in the amendment would have required agents to get warrants in cases before hunting for and reading Americans' emails and other messages that get swept up under the program. This is yet another indication that we cannot count on the federal government to police itself. We have to police the federal government for them. And the best way to do it is to utilize our state and local governments to do it outside of basically open revolt, which, by the way, may be coming here to the United States if states continually buck the trend. You have the DHS secretary now talking about issuing arrest warrants for lawmakers in sanctuary states and sanctuary cities that have basically given a middle finger to President Trump and his immigration policies. So if that happens and they start arresting lawmakers in these states, you can almost rest assured that there's going to be further salvos being fired by both sides. One major way, of course, that these states could end this tomorrow is simply stop being the bagman for the federal government. That's step one. If I was the governor of a state, I would basically withhold all federal tax money going to the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury. I would basically say, look, I'm going to continue to collect this money, but I'm going to do so, and it's going into a trust fund. And when you guys come correct and you hold true to the oath that you took, we'll be glad to give it to you. It's there, collecting interest, just for you in this nice little escrow account or whatever. And after that, we'll just, we'll be watching. But in the meantime, you got some work to do. And when you're done doing that work and you come correct, you can have your money. Now, if you got all the states to do that, you would have Washington by the cojones. And that is exactly what we need to do. They need to understand who the power and where the power lies. It's not with Washington. Oh, they've got fancy weapons and everything like that. But at the end of the day, they need people for those fancy weapons. Still, even today with the AI revolution, they still need workers to go out and earn a wage to keep the machine going of our economy. And if that doesn't happen, well, I guess they've got nothing. So they would have to capitulate. I don't know why more governors don't use that. It is a very, very powerful weapon they possess and could neuter the federal government at any time. So, that's just one of the many ways that we can fight back, but at least it's good to see that the state of Michigan and other states across the United States are pushing back against the federal overreach of power. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. #WakeTheFlockUp. Have a great day, everybody.